You're listening to Off-Road Garage Podcast, and here are Jason and Jim.
And we're live. What's going on, buddy?
What's up?
You know, living the dream. Special guest.
Yeah.
Still keeping that theme going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sticking with it. We're like a few weeks behind, but that's okay because we got to give him time.
You want to go for redemption on this one?
Relax.
Try the intro?
Josh from Kracker Fab, my buddy.
He slaughtered the last one.
My
What's up, Josh? Welcome.
I didn't slaughter it. I just there was so much going on in my head. You don't understand the production that goes on this side.
Let Josh talk. Welcome from sunny mountainous Arizona.
Yeah,
Lucky.
beautiful mountainous Arizona with no snow, so I'm happy.
Wish we could say the same. There's still snow on the ground. It's still cold in here.
It is what it is, brother. That's what you get for living in the mitten, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So it's been about a year, man. How you been?
Oh, not too bad. It's it's actually almost exactly a year.
Yeah.
But no, we're doing good.
Good to hear. Everybody in the team's doing okay?
Yeah, everybody's doing good. Actually, team grew a little bit this last year with the purchase of the Class 11 car.
Okay.
So team's getting bigger. My daughter's actually going to start racing this year, her little Razor 170. So it's getting bigger and getting better. So all good things.
I think I saw that post recently. Like, Daddy, can I start racing? And you're like, yep. You sure can.
You jump on that, dude.
Yeah.
You don't turn that down.
I never really wanted to push her into it. I kind of wanted it to be her. If she wanted to, then great. And after going to the Zooms last year, she asked if she could race, and of course I was already prepared. Had the shopping cart full of all the race parts for her Razor, just waiting to say go. So of course I said absolutely, and here we are. Her first race is going to be the season opener of Great American Short Course in Victorville.
Awesome.
In April.
That could be probably like the worst thing as a daughter who wants to race. You talk about expensive racing.
Yeah.
You can't say no to her.
No, I got two of them. So
Dude,
the younger one's already chomping at the bit. She's not quite old enough yet, but
that could
I
be
thought these little
trouble.
things
But
would be-
definitely the good way to go. Let them decide because you can't push that.
for sure, yeah. That's something why I didn't want to do. I didn't want to push it on. I wanted, if it's something they want to do, then great.
Yep.
And here we are.
It's not like your kids. Like, one is ready to do anything, but too young.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's kind of need a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the younger one sees what her sister does, and it just drives her even more.
Yes,
gotcha.
that has a huge effect on it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. She is the we call her aunt affectionately calls her the wild card. She is just a typical second child. She is something else. But
Yeah, mine all chose to go a different route, but I just bought my 16-year-old a Ford Fiesta on her birthday. So not a new one. It's an old one.
That's still a Ford Fiesta.
It was a grandma recycle. Grandma didn't need it anymore. But still a nice car.
But
She
your
was happy.
youngest tears his quad up right here, right? I mean, this is...
Yeah, it's broke because she broke it.
Right. So that's your wild card. She's a nut.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
She goes all in.
Yeah, for sure. We could dive down a rabbit hole of parenting, apparently.
We could
From
easily.
race cars to parenting.
That's how the last one went. We went down a different rabbit hole than what we totally intended,
Yep.
but that's all right. Oh.
So you want to get back to the brass tacks, and let's talk Kracker Fab racing.
Yeah, let's talk
Absolutely,
some
do it.
racing. Because you guys rocked it out with that bug. That looked like a blast.
oh man, that bug was something else. We hadn't gotten much seat time in it. We bought it in I don't remember, November, I think, or December.
I was going to say, it
And
wasn't
it was
that
just,
long because I remember you guys posting about it. I'm like, what are they doing now? I almost sent you a message like, what are you doing? Because I didn't even really realize that was a class. I thought maybe you guys were doing like a different desert race or something. Like, I wonder what they're getting into. That looks cool. And yeah, it was awesome.
Well, my buddy Jake actually he wanted to race the Mint 400, and he hit me up. I think I don't know, it's probably a year and a half ago, to get one to race the Mint. And at the time, it wasn't a good time for me to pick up another race car, so we didn't. And then Hammers came around this year, and they announced the Class 11 race, and so yeah, we started talking about it and found this car, and it all just came together. So me, buddy Jake, and other buddy Nick, we all went in on it, and yeah, me and myself and Nick are driving it. We're gonna switch off driving duties, and Jake's gonna co-drive. So it's gonna be a cool little venture.
That seems really awesome, and I don't know. It's just such a cool little thing to be ripping around, and like watching it was like, oh, that looks like fun. I remember see you guys ripping by. I'm like, I know those guys. The car's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, we hadn't hucked it off anything. I mean, other than the that one video that we posted that kind of went viral. We unintentionally hucked it there, but we rounded that first corner to hit that first jump, and I didn't know what to expect. You know, we got 8 inches of suspension travel, and we sent it off that thing, and it was surprisingly not as bad as I was expecting. So it's yeah, that car is a blast. The funniest thing was in that race was every lap there became new obstacles on course.
Okay.
We had bumpers here, fenders here, skid plates. So it's just, it was dodging all that stuff all throughout the race. That was pretty funny.
Oh, Jim pulled up the video. Yeah. That's pretty great.
Full on huck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was an unintentional. We hit it a few times before, and it wasn't quite that big, so I went a little bit faster, and yeah, we achieved that.
It's kind of funny how you start to have like more fun in smaller things that like, you're like,
yeah,
it's like the moped. You don't want to admit it to your friends, but the thing's kind of fun to rip around.
I mean, you're talking
that's why we all
3 foot
ride
air.
3-wheelers.
Right.
We all ride the 3-wheelers, the 70s, and all that stuff. It's just, I think it's in our head that we can't get as hurt driving those.
As hurt.
Oh, that's funny. Because that's what my daughter would race her 4-wheeler, which is like 110cc, and I have like an older, I think it's a 70cc 3-wheeler Honda. Like, man, it's old, but like I feel like I'm in Mario Kart. Like I should be chucking bananas behind me when I'm riding it.
Yeah.
But it's a blast for me to ride, even though I'm not going very fast at all. It's just
Feels
still
like you
fun.
are, though,
Because you're an inch off the ground,
Yep.
and like I said, I'm ready to chuck some banana peels instead of spinning into the wall or something.
So I think I missed this. They're racing Class 11 at the Hammers now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the that desert invitational.
So it's just a desert course.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to
we're
see
not
this.
racing the Hammer Trails in it.
Okay. 'Cause I'm like over here. My brain didn't work. It like froze for a second. Like I short circuited. Like I've seen 40-inch tires get swallowed by these rocks, and you're racing a bug. Like what? What?
Yeah. No Hammer Trails in that thing.
Okay.
That would be rad.
It wouldn't be. You wouldn't make it very far.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
That's why I short circuited. I'm like, no, you're gonna hit that bumper and be done.
Just run into it and stop.
It does look like a good time though. Like it's on my phone right now on loop. I just keep seeing you hit that huck, and it's like I want to look for. My neighbor brought home a bug, like because they're nostalgic about them. Yeah. Every time I walk my dog, I'm like, I wonder what they want for that. I'm like, I wonder if I can get that. I need another project in the garage.
Yeah,
Well,
I was never really a VW guy until we bought this. Now I find myself looking at them because they're so simple. They're simple and relatively cheap to repair compared to the Jeep.
Right,
For sure.
I've never wanted one. I mean, I grew up like up in North, and my uncle was big into buggies, like sandrails.
Yeah.
And they always saw the VW guys. I'm like, well, they've got doors and stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, I never wanted a VW until like this kind of stuff.
Right.
That I wanted that or a Synchro. I wanted a 4-wheel drive van. A whole different application, but they're kind of rad.
Yeah. Until what was is it Blake Wilkie who like tore it up in that Baja Bug in like California?
You got like all kind of tickets.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Until I saw that, I was like, oh, that is pretty awesome. Yeah. Why don't I have one of those?
I don't think there wasn't much of a bug left of that other than the body. But
No, but it was, it
yeah,
still.
I take one as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to.
You also
But-
can't afford the tickets that he got. So
But I love that class 11. I love that, like, everything, just it's a regular car
Right.
almost.
you just bomb it
Yeah,
through
and
the
it
desert.
really is. The rules are crazy. You think I always thought stock class Rolls 4 was, it was pretty confined for the stock class. But man, you get into the rule book on these class 11s, and it's, they're going down to the vintage trunk lid versus the non-vintage. For 69 versus 70 or whatever year it is. I mean, it's pretty crazy how particular they can get
Really?
with this thing. Yeah, it's kind of a whole new world.
So it's not just as simple as like, oh, stock suspension, stop drivetrain. Okay, good. Like, you really like.
Can you imagine that? Like building the car, going to a race, and it being like DQ'd because you don't have a vented lid.
Yeah, the wrong trunk lid.
Right. Your headlight trim louvers are wrong. So
Sorry.
what?
Yeah, I don't think anybody would actually ever DQ you out of the race for it, but I think there are some people that will complain about it.
Oh, I'm sure. Like anything, especially if you win or do really well.
Right.
All those
Yeah.
the vented louvers, they saved him some time. It's so much less weight he had to deal with.
Yep, made it faster.
He put a 70 lid on that 69. It's bullshit.
So how many classes did you guys race at the Hammers this year?
We just have the 4600 race and the class 11
Okay.
this year.
Okay.
That was all we did.
So how to wrap up 11? Looks like you guys had a blast. What did you guys end up finishing in?
We ended up finishing 5th.
Okay.
Okay.
That ain't bad.
So yeah, out of I think 16 cars, I think.
And you had some drama with that car, I believe, also, correct?
Man, we had drama this whole year. It was I mean we'll get into the Jeep here later. That was a whole thing by itself. But yeah, the Jeep was tore down. We were getting seat time in the class 11, and I managed to break a side gear in the trans. And it wasn't even anything I didn't think we were rallying it too hard, but apparently we were. So yeah, we had to pull the motor, pull the trans. Luckily we had a buddy that was leaving Phoenix that night, and he made the trek over to the transaxle place down there and picked up parts we needed. And when he came in, we tore the trans down, replaced that, and had it going. So that one wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah, it was just that, and we bent a couple wheels out testing. So it was just learning the car, honestly.
Right.
We really didn't have much seat time on it, so it's just finding that fine line on stuff.
Learning what 8 inches of travel really is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was weird because it didn't feel like we were going that hard on it during practice, and then we beat the shit out of it during the race, and nothing broke. So
Perfect.
kind of weird, but yeah, that was kind of all the drama on that one. Nothing too crazy.
Still sounds like a blast, though.
Yeah, it does.
Coming in 5th, that's pretty good. First, first time out competition. That's pretty good.
Especially buying the car in November, December, and racing in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
That's
Pretty
pretty
happy
good.
with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, not to pour salt on the wound, but let's go into what happened with the Jeep.
The Jeep's a better story. Yeah, this year we went out there. I think we were 2 weeks prior to the race. We usually go out there a week before, and we figured with 2 cars this year, that'll give us plenty of time to test and tune and kind of figure everything out. So when we got there, the Jeep, we had just built the motor, just put the motor back in after blowing it up at Nationals. So it was a fresh motor. We had zero hours on it because right after we got in the car, it went down to Phoenix and got wrapped. And we picked it up in Phoenix on the way to the lake bed. So everything seemed fine here. I mean, we only drove it around a little bit with the trailer. But when we got there, we took it for a spin, and it was immediately apparent that we had a major issue. The motor was making, I shit you not, it was probably 10, 15 PSI coming out of the vent tubes on the motor.
Oh, okay.
So we thought maybe, maybe the rings just hadn't seated or something, which would be super odd.
Right.
But so we put a few more miles on it, tried to get something to happen, and it was obvious it wasn't going to work.
Okay.
So we made a quick trip into Yucca, which turns out this year we went to Yucca for parts more than any other year combined. We bought a cherry picker, engine stand, whole bunch of other tools that that you typically don't bring with you because you don't plan on doing this.
Right.
Got back, pulled the motor out, and completely tore it down the race trailer. And the only thing we could find that was kind of odd, the clocking on the rings wasn't perfect.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, maybe they were just too close, a little bit of blow by, whatever. So fixed all those, put it all in, and we're probably a day later now. Get the car, get it back in, go for a test run, and same thing. Same blow by issues. So at that point, we decided to kind of just write off our new motor, and we started shopping for another motor. Well, one of our buddies found one in Indio, which wasn't too far away. Kid still had it in his daily driver Jeep, and so we made a deal and had him pull it out that night so we could rush down the first thing in the morning, pick it up. We go down, pick it up, bring it back, and we get it, and the torque converter and everything is still on the motor. And we're like, what in the world? But okay, so we take all that stuff off. Throw the motor in the car, fire it up. It sounds great. Everything's good. And let it warm up for 10, 15 minutes. And then just as we're getting in to go take it for a test run, there's a puddle of oil forming under the Jeep.
Oh.
And I'm just thinking, you got to be kidding me. This kid just had a daily driver. We get to look in, and sure enough, the rear main seal is puking out of there. So another trip to Yucca for rear main seal and some other parts. Bring it back and pull that motor out. While that motor's out, we had gotten enough stuff to completely rebuild our original motor. We got all the rings, gaskets, we had everything to redo it. So we decided, we'll give it one more shot. We'll try to rebuild that. And so we go through, hone the whole thing. We mic everything, check everything, reassemble it with some good rings. Feeling good about it. Everything looks great. Put it in the car, and same issue.
What?
So we, the only thing we can come up with is possibly we got crack block.
I was just gonna say it's gonna get cracked somewhere or something. That is crazy.
Yeah, for as much blow by as it has, it should be obvious, but it's not. So so pull that back out, put the Indio motor in with fresh seals, fire it up, and everything's good. Good to go. We go put 60, 70 miles on the desert, and the car is fantastic. Coming back, it's late at night, and the breaker for the fan popped, and we weren't paying attention close enough, and managed to overheat the motor. Pegged out the gauge to 280, blew the head gasket.
Oh.
So at this point, we just go park the Jeep and drink some beers.
Yeah.
It just wasn't, it's just one thing after another.
So by this count, I've got 4 motor swaps already.
Yep, pretty close.
Prior to the race even starting.
Yeah.
Okay. So make
All
sure I'm
right,
on the
yeah.
same page. Everybody else here.
We make one more trip into Yucca, get a head gasket, all the required stuff for that, do the head gasket, and while we're doing that, that's this is about the time when the trans break in the VW. So we got the motor out of the Jeep, motor, trans, everything's out of the VW. And I think this is Friday, so a week before the 4600 race and the day before Class 11 race. So we get all the trans stuff, get the VW together, and then so that day we build the motor, put it in the Jeep the day of the Class 11 race, and we're good to go. So yeah, so I think 5. I may be missing one in there somewhere. I think it was either 5 or 6 motor swaps.
5 or 6 motor swaps and a trans swap.
So you guys got that down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We had we had the motor. We could pull it in 30 minutes.
That's
So
impressive.
not something I really wanted to be proud of, but it was
That
good
ain't-
for
you
good
know,
for this year.
come in handy.
Yeah, you never know.
And this
Yeah.
is just this is a i6, right? The 4-liter?
Yeah, straight
Okay.
six.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was leading up to race day. Yeah, we had a Class 11 race, and then we put some more miles on the Jeep and did our normal, shock tuning, go through the car, and everything was good and felt good for race day.
Felt good.
Felt good, looking good, feeling good.
Fresh wrap, new motor,
Hell yes. All
newish
right.
motor. Okay.
New motors.
Yeah, so finally, a week and a half after we got there, everything's feeling good, everything's feeling right, and we're ready to go. So we do our normal, the Dirty Chonies boys do the full race prep on it and get it all ready, and we get her all ready and line her up for the race.
And it sounds like you did pretty good up until you didn't.
Yeah. So we, it was good until it didn't, and it went downhill pretty fast. So we, started off, took off across. I can't never remember the name of the lake bed right there. I think it's Emerson, maybe right outside of Hammertown.
Okay.
We start the race. We started 26th, I think.
Okay.
So we had quite a few cars in front of us. So we take off. We passed a couple Samurais right before that first sandhill.
Not hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just chugging along.
Yeah, doing what they do.
Yeah,
That's
man,
understandable. You're running your race. I get you.
Oh, dude, and mad props to those guys because I can't even imagine doing this race in a Samurai on leaf springs with
Oh.
31s or 33-inch tires.
Right, because that's all you can pretty much fit. I think about a 31. What's her name in the silver one? Do you know?
The one that was like all over the place this year, like just her first race, and
It was like her first race like last year, and this year she was kind of a little bit bigger deal. But I remember watching it on YouTube. They're like, oh yeah, she's coming to the pits, and they're gonna swap out leaf springs. I'm like, what? I didn't know that was a part to swap out.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious change there.
Right.
Amber, I believe it's Amber Turner.
Okay.
Is who that was. So yeah, her first race I think was last year. I remember watching her come across the stage last year.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I'm like, swapping out leaf springs
in a pit. Yeah.
Like, how do you even know to bring spare leaf springs? I guess.
Samurai
you know?
people, dude. I'm sure she's
I
probably
get
got a
it.
bloody nose from just getting shook by that
Yeah.
samurai.
Oh, there's just it's a brutal life. They're awesome. They're so small. They go everywhere. I mean, you're basically a side by side. Let's be real. But
Yeah, essentially.
anyway, go ahead.
So, yeah,
so you're
so we-
passing people.
Yeah, so we go by them, we get on the lake bed, and it is just a disaster. There's no wind, the dust is horrible, and we have the new trackers in the cars this year that allowed us to. It would notify us when we were coming up on somebody, or when somebody was behind us wanting to pass.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So it was kind of a pretty cool system.
Is
So-
that something that like Ultra Force provides or Keenan Hammers provides? or
Yeah,
what?
it
Okay.
was a new. Instead of like the yellow brick, what they had last year,
Okay.
they had these this year, and I think a lot of the desert cars actually run this system, and it's very, very, very cool system. It's a huge step up from what we're used to. But we couldn't see anything. We were just staying in it, trying to find our way through there, And I look over at Jack and I'm like, how much do you trust that system? He's like, well, it seemed to work pretty good so far. So we just pushed on 50, 60 mile an hour. We couldn't see 10 foot in front of the car. And it was just weaving what we could to get through there. And we had no idea how many cars we passed. So we worked through the desert. I think we passed 2 or 3 more cars after that lake bed. And we get to Cougar Butte. Made it clean through Cougar Butte. And I don't think we passed anybody else between there and I can't remember. It's been too long ago now.
See, we waited way too long.
Not fresh enough.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's only been a month and a half. So
Next time we're talking to you while you're in the car, Josh. No, sorry.
there you go. Yeah. Hey, we can set that up for next year.
I hope to.
You guys, there'd be a lot of editing out some cuss words and whatnot.
That'd be hilarious.
This year, whoa, in the background.
I'm pretty certain I'm gonna try to be there next year. So maybe we can really up our game.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to make it out. I think that's what I told you guys last year. We got you guys a camp spot out there if you guys decide to come out.
Oh, I think we're.
You don't understand how serious he is about this. He's on Airbnb right now looking for places to crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, get him now.
I've already been, I've already put the bug in the wife's ear, like, hey, kind of wanna. So, yeah, making a thing.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Whatever. We'll fly out to LA. I'll drop them off, and I'll just shoot over. Whatever.
There you go. So we make it through the rest of lap 1. Car is solid. Didn't miss a lick. And it was the suspension changes that we made. The car was crazy fast. It was just, we were impressed last year with the changes we made, and this year was just even more. It's just it's no 4400 car, but for what it is, it gets it through the desert.
Right. What did you guys change? Like the shocks and everything? Did you go to different?
Yeah. ADS and Shock Talk are doing a lot of stuff with the shocks, just making it we get a little more travel, and just Carl Shock Talk's just killing it with the valving.
Okay.
Just tune it in, and
huge difference that makes, huh?
Yeah, huge difference. Yeah, if anybody's going out there not shock tuning, you're missing the boat.
Okay.
It's crazy the difference it can make.
Yeah,
especially in that class, you're so limited to what you can do. You got to take advantage of what you can.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we're talking.
You're just gambling on everyone else breaking.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's a pretty good gamble.
That's what we were talking last one. It's like,
yeah, you can finish it. You're doing pretty good.
It's like one of the only races where it's like the guy in the garage has just the same chance as the full out race team.
Right.
Yeah, and it's usually stupid little stuff that takes you out. So yeah, if you can finish this race, you're usually doing pretty good. So so we finished out lap 1, no problem. We're coming into main pit. We're about, I'd probably say, a mile or 2 out. We notified them that everything's good. We're not stopping at main pit. We're going to roll on through. And it's probably not a half mile, 3/4 mile later, we go through a real choppy section. I could feel it just feels like the front end is just flopping around. And I was like, what the heck? So we go through another section. It feels like there's just literally no shock up front. And I'm like, oh man. So we radio back, tell them we're going to stop. So we whip into the pits there at Falcon, and they take a look, and our front driver's shock is just puking oil out of it.
Oh, never good. So
we look at it. There's nothing else broken. Everything looks solid. And so we kind of hem-haw for a minute, trying to figure out, we don't carry spare shocks. After this year, we're going to.
Yeah, right.
But
is it like every year you learn something new to carry a spare?
Exactly. Pretty much, we're just going to build a second car and just have that sitting there. So we weigh all our options, and we didn't really have any. So we decided, you know what, we're going to ease it through the desert, get to the rock, and from there, we don't really need as much dampening as we do through the desert.
Mm-hmm.
So we pull out and carry on, and we're just trying to be easy on it through the desert, try not to kill it. And it's still, we're only doing 15 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour, if that. And it's just you can just feel it's just banging.
Right.
There's zero damping left in the shock. So we get the spooners and dropping the spooners. We don't make it 20, 30 yards down the trail, and it's apparent that something is terribly wrong.
Something is awry.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was, rubbing and grinding and popping, and it was obvious it was broken.
All bad
So it
sounds.
was, we had a couple 4,800 cars and a 4,500 car behind us. There's nowhere for them to pass. So we just push on through, do what we can to get out. And there's a little spot where you can climb out right at the Spooners and Outer Limits Junction.
Okay.
We get up there, get up on top in the flat spot, and the driver front of the car is literally just the tire is into the fender. And it doesn't, even at full bump, it doesn't hit the fender. So we get out, and it is just destroyed. We had, apparently we broke the limit strap going across the desert, which then in turn broke the shock. We didn't notice that until we dropped in the Spooners, and that allowed the suspension to droop out, puke the coil spring out.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So when that happened, came up, smashed the bump stop, broke it off, bent it into the track bar. And so we were literally frame on axle.
Oh.
And that, yeah. So we looked at it. Our pit guys had pulled a shock off of somebody's truck there in pit, so they had a shock ready for us. We were going to, try to. It would have been perfect, but it would have got us through the race.
Right.
So they had all that stuff ready. We tried to figure out a way to even make it to 2B, and there just wasn't. There's too much damage, and
Right.
we had
Save
too
the
many
car for
trails
another day.
between us and 2B to even get there. So unfortunately, that's where we had to call it.
Oh, that is too bad. At what point going through those rocks with all the things popping and banging and smashing, do you stop cringing, or does that never happen? I'd be cringing the whole time.
I kind of got over the cringing part a couple years ago.
Okay.
So I used to be kind of afraid of denting it too bad or any of
Okay.
that. And then a couple years ago, I realized, you know what, it's just going to get beat up. It's just part of it.
Even for you though, I mean, that's got to be new noises when the car's eating itself. That's new noises.
We're like, I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
felt that before.
Yeah, and if it was a completely new sound, like that we
your
didn't know it,
passenger
we would have
getting
stopped
kicked.
sooner and looked at it. But yeah, where we were and what was happening, we already knew pretty much what happened.
Right.
So it was just pretty much just grin and bear it and try to get out of everybody else's way.
So
we'll fix whatever it is when we get back.
So how does the exfil or the recovery happen? Like, I mean, you just like a helicopter come pick you up? I mean, because you're in the middle of nowhere. Like, so how do you get that truck out of there?
So we looked at it and we realized that there really wasn't any more damage that was going to be done.
Okay.
The drive shaft, as long as we weren't flexing it out, because the drive shaft at that point was the only thing limiting the travel on the driver's side. So frame was sitting on the axle, and where we were, we actually found a nice little goat trail out to the flat.
Okay.
So we sat there for a little bit, just drank some water and bullshitted with some of the bystanders there and watched some cars go by. And then after that, we hopped in and just started making our way back. So we drove back at like 10 mile an hour, just frame on axle, just banging the whole way. And I think we drove down probably
the tire self-clearance in the fender.
Yeah, it did too. It destroyed the fender.
Yeah.
But we just drove it. We drove it back. It was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 miles.
20 miles axle on frame. Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Smash.
It was pretty rough. Yeah,
smash.
we both downed some ibuprofen and some Cetrin and chillaxed after we got back to camp.
Yeah, I bet.
So
I figured I'd put my rooftop tent up and be like, forward my mail here. That's where I live now.
yeah, that's our problem though. It's a faux rooftop tent, so we would have been screwed.
Oh.
But hey, that's how it goes though. Sometimes
okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
you do it, and sometimes you don't. So
right?
it just wasn't
win
our year.
Win some and lose some.
Right. That's
Yep.
why they call it racing, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of it. Now we'll just have to. I don't know what we're gonna do to make up points for the season.
Okay, so you're still running the full season then?
Yeah.
Okay.
We will be. Yep, full West Coast series. So we may have to venture out east.
Okay.
And, I don't know how far is Crandon from you guys?
Crandon, Tennessee, Wisconsin.
Ooh, that's not horrible.
I don't think so. Well, it's one of those weird ones where you got to go down and around.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
it's across the lake.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ferry, but it only runs so much. I mean, Tennessee might be closer because it's straight.
Yeah.
But we can check it out. I mean, hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're tossing around that one. Might get out to that East Coast race and get some points back, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So it's not a separate series. The points transfer.
Not for the national championship.
Okay.
They'll still count.
Crandon, Wisconsin.
He's Googling it right now.
339 miles.
Oh shoot, that's close.
Yeah.
Compared to you guys, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 24 or 26 hour drive for us.
Yeah.
817 for us from your driveway.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Hell, I've been further in our own state.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can make something happen. If you need a couple, pit crew guys, give you a hand.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. I'm gonna point. And go. Shouldn't there be a spring in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't there supposed to be suspension or something?
Yeah. Hey, you guys are broke.
Well, the good part is we got JKS is sending us all new parts, and we'll have her up and going here. Hopefully by next week.
They're not far from us either.
Nope.
Shoot over there, pick them up for you.
Perfect. Road trip them out.
Yeah, I mean, if you need them in Wisconsin, I don't know if I'm going much farther than that.
That drive to Moab was rough.
Hopefully we'll have the car back to 100% by next weekend, and
wow.
Yeah, our next race is in Moab.
Are you guys running their ACOS, like the adjustable bump stops?
Yep.
Those things look awesome.
Did you grenade that too?
So the bump didn't grenade, but when it came up, it
that
didn't contact the pad squarely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it broke the whole off the chassis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little more than a bolt on.
Yeah.
Smashing some metal back into
those ACOS pumps. I think we had those last year, and a huge improvement to the suspension up front.
Yeah, I'd like to upgrade to those on mine. But
yeah,
I'm not nearly putting it
light.
through the effort you are.
Well, Sean's got a different company's same idea in his white, the white JK he's got,
white JK.
And just feeling it like versus when I bottom out and he bottoms out, it's so much smoother.
Yeah.
You don't get that teeth jarring bottom out when you hit the bumps.
You mean the solid chunk of rubber that needs to compress as opposed to a nice cushiony.
Yeah, knocking the fillings out.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he hucks his pretty well through the dunes, and you can feel it hit, but doesn't shake nothing. So I can only imagine JKS is a very similar quality to them.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yep. Yeah, they're like I wouldn't say quite like landing on a pillow, but it's still 5,500 pounds of Jeep. But they definitely cushion up quite a bit.
Still doing the best you can for the stock class.
Right.
Yeah. We're stuck with what we got.
Versus landing on like hockey puck material.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had rubber bumps, solid rubber bumps in there for quite a few years. So these were huge upgrades.
The much needed upgrade.
That's probably one of those upgrades too. You're like, man, we should have done this 3-4 years ago. It's been so much better.
Well, actually, you couldn't even run hydro bumps in stock class.
Okay.
3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So we actually the drivers all all came together and we all voted to have the hydro bumps added to the rule book.
Nice.
It's cool
So,
that
huge.
it moves. It's cool that it can do that. Like, hey, dude,
Fluctuates a little
I'm
bit.
peeing blood for like the last 3 races. Can I get something a little better?
We've all decided this is not doing anything good for us.
Yeah, there's certain things that that are in the name of safety.
Right.
That I think we're willing to change, but some people come to us and just do these changes that are off the wall, and it ruins the spirit of the class.
Yeah,
really.
We should be able to run long travel and blowers, so that's not the point. Like,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Putting the shocks through the floorboard, and if you're going to do that, you might as well go run 4,500.
right.
Right, and that's what those other classes are for. If you want to do that, run that other class. No, I get it.
Exactly. And that's what makes this class so cool. It's a challenge to have to package all this stuff, and a lot of it goes into picking the right car.
Absolutely. Well, and the fact that you guys are still limited to a 35-inch tire, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's pretty awesome. Like, I like that more.
Yeah.
Like, anyone can do it on like a 40.
Yeah, 40 is point and shoot, I think.
Yeah. Oh, 40 and 1,000 horsepower, sure. Yeah.
Give her the beans.
Yeah, but when you're running like stock-ish engine and 35s, or in the Samurai's case, a 31.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, let's go find us a tin top and go race the hammers in a tin top, Sammy.
No. No, I'm not with you in that idea.
You can change my my leaf springs out for me when I get to I need the rock springs on now.
There you go.
No, I think she swapped them out because they were broke.
I think I would just stay away from leaf springs altogether.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
Although, I say that, and then, Justin Reese is smoking us every year here on the Toyota with leaf springs. So,
and he just did that. Is that video on Amazon, right?
yep, yeah, the documentary.
Yeah, I think I watched that. I watched that a couple weeks ago. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You guys are in there.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we were camping.
Yeah, right.
You have to show me that. I haven't seen that one. I got to point that one out when I get home. Or let me know.
Yeah. I'll
Battle of the Badlands.
Yeah, Battle of the Badlands. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, on Amazon. It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what Justin gets that Toyota to do.
It
Tell you
is.
what.
How was the hype on the all electric this year? It looked pretty kind of cool. Interesting technology.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing. I'll be honest, I had heard a little bit about it because Dave Ball, the guy we're friends with, he actually used to race that 4Runner.
Okay.
So we had heard a little bit about it, but hadn't heard much about it. And yeah, that was pretty cool.
It'd be
pretty interesting to try and figure out how to make an electric vehicle to last out there.
right. That's a lot of. Well, I mean, I think
A lot
you
of
said
batteries,
it's
from
a
what it
lot
looks
of
like.
what ifs and a lot of. Yeah,
At least
That's
there's no
crazy.
water to worry about.
it's one less thing.
That's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, true.
Dust and getting shook and beaten and abused but no water. Got to look at the small victories, man.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Leaf springs do seem brutal. Electric sounds. It's coming.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Well, the weird part can be
The
you
way of
imagine,
the
like,
future.
being in a race and being able to talk to your driver, like just talk normal, like because there's no motor
'Cause you're
screaming.
just, like, It's like when you're riding in a golf cart and
Yeah.
you just the road noise is all you
yeah,
hear.
and the little.
You're not going to need like the comms anymore.
I'd make it sound like the Jetsons car just to annoy people when I went by them.
You almost have to.
I don't know if it'd be as much fun though if you don't have the motor noise.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I need
I don't know.
motor noise.
Just seems boring to me.
Yeah, I need motor noise. I'm that guy. You have to
I
put
need
a
all the-
speaker system in that thing or something.
Well, because if you heard the noise the car was making, you would be freaking flipping out. You have
Right.
to have more noise to cover something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
You're gonna hear-
All the noises.
Yes, every
You'd be
crack
so
and pop.
paranoid. Oh my god, what was that? What was that? Is that a new noise? When did that happen?
Yeah, it's definitely an eye opener when we drive our car without our helmets on. We go, cruise to the mall or the grocery store on our time off. It's pretty scary, the noises it makes.
You're like, it's probably not. This shouldn't be on the road.
I just ignore them and put my helmet on and act like they're not there.
Oh,
Man,
that's gonna
Arizona
be
sounds
crazy. Oh yeah, it does.
It just sounds rad living in Arizona. Like, yeah,
Drive your race car to the grocery store.
go to the old Piggly Wiggly in the race Jeep. Like, what the hell, dude? I get weird looks with no doors on mine. He's riding a helmet.
Yeah, everyone thinks like someone stole your doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
helmet,
definitely get some looks driving around town.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
It would definitely stand out a wee bit here. I
Yeah.
can tell you that. Oh yeah, it's like when I took the doors off my CJ. It's like, what the hell is that thing? Oh, that is awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm glad there was. I mean, you got to suffer a little bit for a story. I mean, like changing the motor out 6 times sounds kind of. Now it's funny. I'm sure number 3 was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I tell you what, it was seriously every day for whatever that. It was a week and a half, 2 weeks. It was like Groundhog Day. Just waking up. We woke up, pulled the motor, had an issue, pulled the motor again, went to bed, and it was just a constant, just every day. It seemed like, and yeah, I tell you what, by the fifth motor there, it was yeah,
By the fifth
it was pretty rough,
motor.
but hey, we never say die, and we pushed forward and we made it to the start line. So
Only imagine, man. You're just looking at it, you're like, you're a 4-liter. You're not supposed to be this problematic.
Right. That's why you're
Yeah,
around
it's
for
so
50
simple.
years.
Right.
So, I remember what the 6th one was.
Oh.
We didn't pull the motor on this one,
Okay.
but we got everything fixed, put the new head on, and we did the head gasket. We swapped our aluminum head onto this new motor, and while we were at it, we had all brand new lifters. So we went ahead and put new lifters in it as well.
Okay.
So motor would start up, run great, and then as soon as it would warm up, it would run like garbage. Just no power, nothing at all. We fought that for probably a day and a half, and we went through everything, trying messing with the computer, messing with sensors, the whole thing. And finally, it was like 10 o'clock at night. We took it out, and same thing. It got warm, wouldn't run. Well, it just happened to die. So we went to restart it, and it sounded like there was no spark plugs in it at all. Zero compression. So we're like, okay, well, that's kind of odd, but gives us direction. We get fire up, head back to camp, and what turned out happening is the new lifters we put in were, when the car was shut off, they were bleeding down ever so slightly. So when we would run the valve, like we did every other time, we were actually getting them too tight because the lifters were bleeding down.
Right. Okay.
So as soon as the car would warm up, the valves were never closing.
Problematic.
So, yeah. So that was the icing on the cake right there. That was just a little last punch in the gut.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we figured that out like 11 o'clock at night. We were all happy. So
Sure, you're thrilled.
Oh, thrilled. But we gotta look at the plus side. You're 4-liter experts now.
yeah, we got it. We got it down.
I could probably
You can
just start
swap
mine.
it out in 30 minutes. You can rebuild it in a trailer with no issues.
I could probably just start mine.
Yeah.
They could diagnose it for me. Here's what it sounds like. Oh yeah, check this out.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, we
That's broke.
definitely went through everything this last round, but now we have a spare motor to keep in the trailer, so I guess that's a positive.
Bonus.
I mean, you're stepping up the game for sure. I mean,
Your collection of spare parts. You're gonna need a whole new trailer.
I'm gonna need a semi here pretty quick.
You're getting there. It's the progressive steps.
yep. Spare motor, a couple spare shocks.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Never ending. So there's always something else. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting on that golden hour. But you got some sponsors and everything you want to thank before we wrap this up?
Absolutely, man. Got to thank ADS Shocks Shock Talk, Yukon Gear and Axle, JKS Manufacturing, Rad Design. Oh man, I know I'm forgetting a bunch.
I know your car's getting pretty stickered up, my
Yeah,
man.
buddy.
It's looking pretty good. That's pretty
a
awesome.
big one. I almost forgot the main one. Dirty Life Race Wheels. We
Nice.
swapped over to them this year. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked them out, you gotta check them out. They have some extremely nice wheels.
Yeah,
We're
doing
very-
good for you guys? Working out well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, very nice wheels. We actually didn't bend any wheels this year.
No.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah, that's
been kind of a thing for us.
Well, considering you were axle on frame and your tire and wheel were the only suspension you had, that says a lot.
There's a testament right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were great. We got to thank Warren Winch, Adams Drive Shaft, Rome Adventure Co. for that awesome rooftop tent.
Hell yes.
Yeah, Rugged Radios and Dirty Tony's Race Support. They keep the car going.
Hell yeah.
So
Awesome.
and KC Highlights. Can't forget those
Yep.
guys.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, I seen them on there looking good.
yeah,
Oh,
looking good, and they compliment everything
hell yes.
everything very nicely. And I don't remember if I said, did I say Falcon?
Yep. If you didn't, you did now.
I did now. So
They
there we
seen
go.
they did pretty good for you too, huh?
Yeah, another Hammers year with no flat.
And they were pretty awesome. Pretty much everyone kind of went with you on the VW Bug too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much most everybody transferred over to the Bug and supplied us with.
That's kind of cool. You got all the matching, like
Right.
all the cars. Looks rad.
That was cool. I wish they made a UTV tire because then we go and wrap my daughters in it as well.
Oh, there you go.
So
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Might be the one to push them over to that. Like, hey,
yeah, there you
guys.
go. Like, hey, here you go. Here it is, right
I was-
here.
I was working on it this year.
No, that's
they-
pretty awesome, man. Like I said, it does sound like you're not far away from the full race trailer.
Hell yeah.
Just keep your daughters
Uh,
alone. You might need one.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see what happens. But
All right.
Well, it's great, great having you on again, man. Great hearing the stories. Thanks.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
all
man,
right.
thank
Well,
you guys for having me.
with that, I think it's a wrap.